What's up, creepers? Welcome to Phin and Bryn Spoops.
Today's day 7.
Day 7.
It's a whole week.
Day 7.
We did it! Our first week. So today we watched a movie called
Spiral.
So trigger warning, this movie has, what, Finn?
Homophobia.
And that is the scary part about this movie. So this movie got about a 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb, which isn't too shabby for a horror movie. Horror movies tend to get lower ratings on IMDb because horror fans are harder on movies than other people are. Let's see. It was written by Colin Minahan, who wrote Stillborn, and he is also with his Stillborn director, Curtis David Harder. So Colin Minahan also wrote Grave Encounters. So, you know, he's basic. Yeah, basic.
Yeah, basic.
He is a Shudder darling. They love him over at the Shudder channel, and he makes a lot of those types of movies that get lost in the shuffle. Sometimes they're really good, like Grave Encounters, and Stillborn was okay. Whatever. But you know, he's kind of a middling director or a middling writer, and Curtis David Harder is kind of a middling director. So they make together middling horror movies. So that's why I gave this movie 3 skulls.
Really? Because I gave it 3.5 because I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. That's fair. If you like it, then yeah. My 3 skulls versus your 3.5 skulls. So this movie starts off in the 80s with a gay couple getting a hate crime accosted upon them. They were in the car making out, and a bunch of homophobes lure them out of the car and beat to death the one guy. There was
his name Liam.
Liam. Yeah, Liam. Malik's boyfriend.
Yeah.
And when we see them again, it's 10 years later. So it goes from 85 to 95. Yeah. And Malik is moving in with his boyfriend, Aaron. It seems like a new relationship. Malik and Aaron, I think they're married. They might be married, I'm not sure. But Malik and Aaron are moving in together with Aaron's older daughter, Kayla. She's a senior in high school.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
She's a senior in high school. She's a teenage girl, which they need, the people. Yeah. We are going to just do spoilers because you'll probably miss it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's get on with the thing.
Okay, so they move into this house in this very suburban neighborhood, basic. Like it just looks like every house looks the same, and it's full of white people. Just full of white people. And when the neighbors come by to greet them, they bring a flower. It's really ugly. It's just this one big flower. It's like closed, and she's like, "Oh, when it blossoms, it'll be beautiful," or whatever. Mm-hmm. But when she realizes that they are a same-sex couple, she says,
"We don't have many of you around
We
here."
don't have any.
Oh yeah.
And what does Malik say? He's like, "None? Then they're still hiding." They're also an interracial couple. Malik is black and Aaron is white. So that's probably another bang against them in this neighborhood. So they are a same-sex interracial couple, and they're adorable. Well, you know what? Malik is really cute. He was played by Jeffrey Boyer Chapman.
Aaron, not as much. Aaron's just...
I don't know how Aaron got that. I mean, I don't know. Something's going on there. So this movie relies very heavily on miscommunication or secret keeping, and it drives me nuts. Like, the movie would not have its plot without Malik not saying what's going on. Like, I'm sorry if somebody broke into my house and wrote the terrible F word on my wall, the slur F word on my wall, I think I would tell my husband instead of just paint over it and say, pretend like nothing happened.
A new coat.
No, and I think that same night, doesn't he see them
Cold
doing
circle.
that? Yeah, doing that.
Oh,
Doing that circle.
just rotating in a circle. Yeah.
There's this
Tape.
old man trying to warn Malik about something, and he's the old guy from Friday the 13th. It's not the same person, but it's the same character. Where the guy's like, "Don't go to Camp Crystal Lake," but this old guy is telling him, what does he tell him? He hands him a piece of paper and it's blank. And he says to be careful, or is it? And he tells him to be careful, and then the next day he's dead.
Supposed he took all his pills. Supposed after the cult thing.
So, yep.
So there was one weird thing. He took a picture while they're doing the cult circle, except it had a flash and it was against a window.
So what would you get if you took a picture?
It's just white.
You'd get a picture of the flash. My 12-year-old was smarter than the director of this movie, apparently.
Ha.
So anyways, so Malik is like weirded out by all of this, and he keeps telling his husband, it doesn't feel right. None of it feels right. And his husband is, I don't know, newly out of the closet, I would say. So, and he's white. So this guy is like so full of his own gosh dang privilege that he's like, no, you're just being unfair because they're straight. No.
They're a cult.
And Malik says, what's the word for Uncle Tom but for gay people? Because that's what they are. So I got 2 jumps, 1 big scream and 1 big ah! But that was, they were cheap scares. They were. Admit it. And
Whole time you feel like it might be in his head.
yeah, they do make it seem. They make a very good, valid case throughout the movie that it might be in Malik's head, that he might be having a paranoid breakdown. He takes anxiety pills. And he's been taking them, but he's starting to lose time, I think, because he'll be talking to somebody.
And then there'd be no one there again.
Oh, and then they switch spots.
And then they just teleport to the other side.
They switch spots. They weren't teleporting. I think he was losing time. They weren't teleporting.
No, because remember, he was walking behind someone, following them, and they went to the left, and then he goes to the left, and then he's just into the chain on the right. That's teleporting.
Their daughter Kayla, who is kind of a brat, she starts getting into this relationship with the weird people next door, their son.
The weird people.
He seems like he's a nice guy, and he's cute.
He is.
So it's kind of a bummer when he's
eating her. Whoa, we're in the spoiler. We're in the spoiler section. Too bad.
But that's the very, very end.
Care? Spoiler section is spoiler section. You came here for spoilers. Well, here it is. Or you went and watched it. And
so yeah,
you already know.
You start actually questioning whether or not you believe Malik, and I feel really bad about that. And I'm like, ooh, if he's actually just having a paranoid breakdown, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be big mad.
Big mad. Yeah, this is big mad time.
But so he's on all these pills, and he realizes that they have switched the pills because the pills he's been taking are darker than his old ones. So he realizes they've been drugging him, and he tries to convince Aaron that
they didn't switch the pills because they just changed out the pills. They never switched it with something else. I mean, they did, but switching sounds like they just swapped the bottles.
Oh, I don't know. But he was taking the wrong pills.
And he was just taking the wrong pills.
He was taking the wrong pills. And they gave, I don't know if they drugged him or what, but they got these really risque pictures with him and another dude, and Aaron found them and broke up with him. and he had nowhere to go, and it all seems bad for Malik. And then he realizes that because another couple from 1985 had been killed by these people.
I don't think we're telling this in good order.
We aren't, but this lesbian couple had a teenage daughter also who was who died too. So he starts getting very, very concerned for Kayla, and he decides he's going to do something about it. And he has a gun, Malik, and he shows up and he says, "You're not going to do to her. I'm going to protect her." And he ends up shooting the crazy, scary neighbor in the chest, and it turns out they were all there for a birthday party. Or supposedly, they were there for a birthday.
Supposedly.
So Malik's in jail. Aaron's not talking to him. The neighbor's supposedly dead. Kayla's all upset. And Aaron finds one of the videotapes, because Malik has been researching this cult. So Aaron finds one of the videotapes, and he puts the videotape in the because this is 95. So he puts it into the VCR, and he's watching it, and it's the same couple from next door, and their son's the same age, and nothing has changed. None of them have aged, and he realizes, oh God,
Malik was right.
Malik was right. So while he's watching this
through the window behind
that
through the window,
really
there's just
scary.
all of them in like their cloaks, and it's
they're
just
like satanic cloaks and
just
stuff,
behind
like
him.
waiting for him to discover this. And while this is all going on, the guy that was supposedly dead shows up in the jail, and he reveals his mwahaha villain plan. And they have to sacrifice Kayla, because I guess the teenage daughter of a hated couple, because it doesn't have to be gay couples, it could be just black couples, it could just be a minority group's child they have to sacrifice or whatever. And Aaron goes running upstairs and pounding on Kayla's door, and she's not answering. And he opens up the door, and
eventually he gets it open.
that couple, the creepy couple, their son has cracked open her chest cavity, and he's been devouring her organs, and it's totally disgusting.
And then they're behind him.
Surprisingly disgusting, because there hasn't been anything gross through the whole movie.
Except for the dead raccoons.
Yeah, but that doesn't really count.
I forgot to mention that.
Who cares?
That's where they hide them.
It was not that good.
I think it was only 3.5.
So it's an unhappy ending. They all die at the end, but Malik does put together all of his research and puts it on a disc, and they hide it in the attic of the house.
So when the new teenage daughter comes and sees the blood stain from the raccoons that we said if you watched it and something.
Stop! You're not talking correctly. You're mumbling weird. We didn't mention the fact that they threw a bunch of dead raccoons up in their attic, and the blood dripped onto their daughter's face. And the bad guys put the raccoons in the attic, and the blood dripped on the daughter's face. So now there's a stain on the wall, because they were being harassed for a while. But now there's a stain on the wall, so the girl's like, what the heck's that stain? So the new girl goes upstairs, and she finds the
tape.
The CD. Yeah, because he puts it all on a CD-ROM.
And he puts all the research, and hopefully
his last words are, hope is never silent. So this could have been better. It could have had better representation. We have the kill your gays trope.
The communication issues, though.
Yeah, the communication issues. If you're in a really good relationship, you don't hide things from your significant other. That's
yeah. It might have been a new relationship, and that's why.
Yeah, but the script relied on him not telling. Yeah.
Anything.
So
Sorry.
Don't do that. You always yawn. They don't use miscommunication for a plot device. So it's okay if you're looking for a movie with some representation. This has got a gay couple in the 90s, an interracial couple in the 90s. It's got representation, but they killed them. So what kind of representation is that? And I was kind of bothered by it. But it was okay. If you're bored, check it out. It's on Shudder, also on AMC Plus, which is kind of folded Shudder into. So otherwise, skip it.
It's pretty good. No, I think you should.
I say skip it. What do you say?
I say don't skip it.
Okay. You heard from the experts. I'm not sure what we're watching tomorrow. Do you know?
No.
No.
I know we're watching 2 on Monday.
What are we watching on Monday? Halloween?
Yeah, because that's a classic Monday.
Yeah, Monday we're going to watch.
Classic movie Monday.
We'll be reviewing Halloween on Monday. The original Halloween, not Rob Zombie's Halloween. I mean, I love Rob Zombie. Do I love Rob Zombie? But we're going to be watching.
Classics.
We're going to watch the classic one. So tonight, I don't know if you got any ideas, drop some in the comments before 8 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, and maybe we'll pick what you pick. And we're not going to pick Axum.
Nope.
Who is that? They keep saying Axum. Brady, we're not going to pick Axum.
I'm like, I had to block him because he just kept commenting and I kept telling him to stop.
You can't block your friends, dude.
I have to keep telling him to stop. He refused to stop.
We'll see. We'll see what's going on. I don't know what's going to.
He refused to stop.
We'll
so I
see you
blocked
guys tomorrow. Bye, creepers.
him. Bye-bye.
Oh.
God dang it. You're looking down still. Look at the camera. Once you get a nice position. Sit the other way.
It's weird.